In the quiet town of Ikenne, nestled deep within Ogun State, there lived a man who had everything but peace of mind. Chief Olawale Adeyemi was one of Nigeria's wealthiest industrialists, a man whose name commanded respect from the chambers of the Senate to the oil rings of Port Harcourt. He had built empires in real estate, oil and telecommunications, and in every corner of the nation, his influence lingered like the morning dew. But despite all his success, Chief Olawale carried a burden heavier than gold. He had 3 daughters, each more radiant and accomplished than the other, but not one of them was married. His first daughter, Adeshewa, was a top-tier medical doctor, recognized even outside Nigeria. She had studied in Canada, completed her residency in the UK, and returned to Nigeria to manage her own clinic in Lekki. Patients worshipped her. Her name echoed in health conferences, yet she had never brought a suitor home. The second, Kikelomo, was a fierce lawyer who had worked with top human rights organizations. She was known for winning seemingly impossible cases and once challenged a state governor in court and won. With her intelligence and beauty, suitors lined up but always disappeared before things became serious. The third, Morenikeji, the engineer, was a structural genius. She designed high-rise buildings across Africa and was part of the team behind Abuja's tallest skyscraper. Independent, wealthy, brilliant, but heartbreak followed every relationship she entered. Their father watched this pattern for years. Despite each daughter's success, marriage continued to elude them like a shadow at dusk. He turned to science, psychology, even therapy. Nothing worked. One early morning, frustrated beyond words, Chief Olawale drove to his ancestral village. He visited Baba Ire, an old seer, hidden deep within the forest, known only to elders. The visit was meant to be secret, but whispers traveled faster than wind in Ikenne. Baba Ire listened in silence as the chief poured out his pain. Then the old man asked one question. Did you ever offend anyone or do anything spiritual to gain all this wealth? The question hit like thunder. The chief's eyes dimmed. He remembered. 35 years ago, Chief Olawale had consulted a powerful herbalist. Desperate to be rich, he was told to perform a ritual. He had to bury 3 bottles, each containing items representing his daughter's hair, nail clipping, and clothes stained with their first menstrual blood. He did so, unknowingly blinding their destinies to his wealth. He had been told he could dig it up when he was ready to loosen their paths, but time and prosperity made him forget. Baba Ire told him to go back and dig those bottles up, break them under the morning sun, and ask for forgiveness. Only then would his daughters be free. Chief Olawale couldn't sleep that night. Guilt gripped him. At dawn, he summoned trusted guards and headed to the backyard of his massive estate. His daughters watched him curiously from their balconies. He dug and dug. Then 3 bottles, old, brown, dusty, covered in ancient clothes. He didn't wait. With trembling hands, he smashed the first bottle. A thick smoke shot into the air. In the main house, Adeshewa fainted in her clinic uniform. He broke the second bottle. Wind roared through the backyard, though the skies were calm. Kikelomo, who had been reviewing a client case, dropped her pen and burst into uncontrollable tears, without knowing why. He smashed the third. A loud thunderclap sounded, even though the skies were clear. Morenikeji, who had been inspecting a bridge project, stumbled back eyes wide as though a weight had just lifted from her shoulder. Then silence. The chief knelt and wept like a child. He begged for forgiveness. That night, strange things happened. Adeshewa received a call from a colleague she had ignored for 2 years, Dr. Bamidele. He confessed that he had been in love with her, but always felt blocked when he tried to express it. They planned dinner. Kikelomo, while driving home, was stopped by a man she had met in court, a gentle journalist who had once interviewed her. He told her he had written poems about her, but never found the courage to say anything. That night, they spoke for 5 hours. Morenikeji, the most skeptical of all, returned home to find a package from her ex-fiance in the UK, one who had vanished without a trace 3 years ago. Inside the box was an apology letter and a plane ticket to Nairobi, where he now lived. He explained that something dark had always pulled him away from her, and he was finally free. Within 3 months, Adeshewa got engaged. Within 6 months, Kikelomo courtship was underway. In 9 months, Morenikeji was married in a private ceremony attended by dignitaries and royalty. The media went wild. 3 daughters, one miracle became a national headline. But it wasn't a miracle, it was a consequence of old decision. During their wedding receptions, the chief took the mic and broke down in front of hundreds. I owe my daughters more than my wealth. I owe them freedom. I tie them without knowing the cost. Let no man seek power at the cost of his children's futures. His word traveled across Nigeria. Many men and women began to revisit the spiritual seed they had planted for wealth, success or protection, and the invisible prices their family might be paying. Each of the sisters, now happily married and flourishing even more in their careers, never forgot that day. They forgave their father, but often used their story to counsel other young women facing unexplained delays. From the village of Ikenne to the Grand Hall of Lagos, their tale lived on, not just as one of liberation, but one of responsibilities. Because sometimes, to move forward, one must go back and undo what was done in silence. And sometimes, the chain holding us are buried right in our backyard. The moral lesson for this story is, never seek power at the cost of your children's future. What you bury in silence may become the chains of tomorrow. This is the end of this story. If you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up and share with your friends. Subscribe and hit the bell for updates. Let us know where you are watching us from in the comments.